Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining with us. Please do let me know if you can hear me. You can drop down message in the message box if you are able to hear me. Hope so now you are able to hear me. First of all, I would like to thank you for joining with us in this situation and for attending our webinar. Here I am Santosh Sharma, the organizer of the event, along with Prithvi Shah, who will be our host for today. Our webinar topic is data management in Microsoft D365 Finance and Operations. Before moving forward to the webinar, I will just like to have few minutes of your time to brief you about our company, Dhyey Consulting Services Private Limited. We are from Dhyey Consulting Services Private Limited. Dhyey Consulting Services Private Limited is a Microsoft partner-centric company. We provide Center of Excellence as a service. Under Center of Excellence, we are specifically working for Microsoft partners only. Our Center of Excellence enhances business process and boost up efficiency and productivity. We have a bunch of highly skilled resources. We have more than 65 developers with us who works on Microsoft D365 Business Center, Microsoft D365 Finance and Operation, and also Microsoft D365 CRM. Our Center of Excellence comprises of, as I said, Microsoft D365 Business Central, Finance and Operation, and CRM. Under that, we have categorized into three parts, which is Microsoft D365 Project Implementation, Microsoft D365 Support, and Microsoft D365 Research and Development. So what does Microsoft D365 Project and Implementation consist of is that Microsoft D365 project and implementation consist of new implementations, new add-on making. So if you are making there is a new implementation, it comes into the project implementation part. D365 support, wherein the project has already been gone live and we need to provide support. And research and development comprises of where a partner is looking to make an add-on. So we are also into making add-on for partners which can sell or provide service to his customers. So these are the three things. As I said, if we combine all those things, we provide implementation, customization, and rollout, system engineering upgrade, integration and data migration services, D365 solution maintenance and support, and Microsoft D365 development of reports and dashboards. So these are all the services we are providing. Now I will be handing over the further webinar series to Prithvi Shah. We will be conducting question and answer session at the end of the webinar. Thus request you to jot down all of your questions and we will be eager to solve all of your questions at the end of the session. We will be also sending you feedback form. We request you to fill up the feedback form for our convenience. So yes, now handing over to Prithvi Shah. Hi Prithvi.
Good morning. I am Prithvi Shah and I will be conducting today's session on data management in Microsoft D365 for finance and operations. So today I will be talking on data management workspace and how it looks like, import and how to import data, export and how to export data, configure entity export to database, data entities, set up rules for data projects, templates, configure data source, framework parameters, staging cleanup, bring your own database, configure entity export option Towards the end, I'll be showing a demonstration on import, export, and configure entity export options. Starting with Data Management Workspace. As shown on the screen, the Data Management Workspace consists of the tiles shown, each having different functionalities. Import. Import is the process of pulling data into a system using data entities. The import process is done through the import tile in the Data Management Workspace. Data can be imported either for individual entities or for a group of logically related entities that are sequenced in the correct order. The file formats vary depending on the type of import. For example, for an entity it can be an Excel file, whereas for a data package it can be a zip file. Steps to import data. Log into the environment. On the dashboard, click the Data Management Workspace. Click the Import tile. On the next page, do the following. Provide a name. In the Source Data Format field, select Package. Click the Upload button and choose the appropriate package file from the location for the data being imported. Click Save and then click Import. Here we can see how the screen looks on clicking Import. Export. Export is the process of retrieving data from a system using data entities. When exporting, you have a lot of flexibility as to how the export project is defined. We can choose which data entities to export, but also the number of entities, the file format used, and apply a filter to each entity to limit what is exported. Steps to export data. Log into the environment. On the dashboard, click the Data Management Workspace. Click the Export tile. On the next page, do the following. Provide the name. Select the target data form and select entity name. Click Add Entity. Here we can see how the screen looks on clicking Add Entity. Configure Entity Export to Database. It is used for publishing data to an external database for things like BI tools. You can see how the page looks after clicking on the Configure Entity Export to Database tile. Data entities. A data entity is a conceptual abstraction and encapsulation of one or more underlying tables. A data entity represents a common data concept or functionality. A data entity encapsulates a business concept into a format that makes development and integration easier. A data entity has the following capabilities. It provides a single stack to capture business logic, enable scenarios such as import and export and integration, and support additional logics by a developer adding code. It becomes a primary mechanism for exporting and importing data packages for application lifecycle management and demo data scenarios. It can be exposed as OData services and then used in tabular style integration scenarios and Microsoft Office integrations. Setup roles for data projects. This is basically a security feature to allow or deny access to certain data projects. On clicking the Setup Roles for Data Project style, the page would look somewhat like the one shown on the screen. Templates. Default templates are delivered together with each release of finance and operation apps. To load templates, select Template Style from the Data Management Workspace, then select Load Default Templates to load the templates. After the templates are loaded, we can change them to suit our business requirements. System administrator access is required to load default templates and import templates. Here we can see where to find the Load Default Templates button and what is displayed on clicking it. Configure data source. Several standard data sources are already set up. They include Excel, CSV, XML, amongst others. In addition to that, if the need arises, additional data sources can be set up. They are useful for linking to external databases for recurring imports and exports. Framework parameters. On clicking this tile, we get data management settings. Staging cleanup. This is used to clean up job history. Bring your own database or BYOD. The BYOD feature lets administrators configure their own database and then export one or more data entities that are available in the application into the database. Currently, more than 1700 data entities are available. This feature allows the following tasks. Define one or more SQL databases that we can export entity data into. Export either all the record or only the records that have changes or been deleted. Use the rich scheduling capabilities of the batch framework to enable periodic exports. Access the entity database by using Transact SQL or TSQL and even extend the database by adding more tables. Next, how to configure entity export options. Start the client and then in the data management workspace, select the configure entity export to database tile. Select new and then enter a unique name and a description for the new database. Enter the connection string in the format as shown on the screen. Select validate and make sure that the connection is successful. This is how the screen looks. Next, I will be showing a demo on how to import and export. Here, as you can see, we have already logged into the client. Next, we will search for the data management tile. As you can see, it is over here and we will click it. Here we can see the data management workspace, which has import, export, framework parameters and all the other mentioned tiles. Here we can see all the projects. Here we can also see which are imported, exported and the rest. So starting with import, we will select the import tile. Here you give a group name. Suppose we want to say the name as import trial. We can select whether to give a description or not. Next we go here and select on add file. We will click on upload and add. Here we are selecting sales order, line charges. We select and open. Wait for it to get uploaded. Here, then select the entity name. I chose this. Then we close. Here you can see that the entity has been added. You can view the map by clicking on this. Next, after we have added the file, we select import here. We click on it. We will be prompted to refresh the page and we do as prompted. Here we can see that our project has been imported. Moving on to export. We click on the export tile. Give a group name. Here I am giving as export trial. We can give a description, that is up to us. Next is add entity. We click on it. We select the entity name. Here I am selecting this. Next we click on add. And we can see here that the entity has been added. Here we can view the mapping if required. Then we click on the export. As prompted, we have to refresh the page. Here we can see that our project has been created for export. Moving on to configure data source, we click on the tile. Here we can see the existing data sources that are already given, but we will go to new. In this, we have to give a source name. Let us give it as trial. Then on type, we have to select Azure SQL database. And then we can click save. In some versions, you might be asked to give a connection string. The connection string is typically having the syntax as shown on the screen, whereas data source is followed by a logical server name, comma 1433, initial catalog, your database theme, integrated security is equals to false, user ID is equals to SQL user ID, password is equals to password. All these details can be found from SQL Server Management. You open it, go to databases, select the database, right click and click on properties. Excuse me. Here you will find all the required details. Sorry. Then you click save, and then over here you will see that our database has been created. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Prithvi, for the webinar. Now we are open for the question and answer sessions. So please do let us know if you have any questions.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me? Yes, Ankit this side. Actually, I want to know how we will do mapping for the correct column, or like we have uploaded a item master, and we want to know exact mapping of that column to the particular exporting file or importing file. Because when we go for the import or export, then I face a problem that the mapping should be in a correct way. So can you please let me know how we can do a correct mapping?
Yes, Prithvi. Are you, Ankit, can you write down your question?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Hello, Ankit.
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. So there is so you want to do the mapping, right? Field mapping in the entity, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So there is a two types of field mapping we can do. There is a
Mhm.
one is like if you are using the default entity and you are not
Oh.
making a new entity, then there is a one button in the entity form. Name is a
Mhm.
generate field mapping, right?
Okay.
And if you want the field mapping from your side, like you don't want to use the generate field mapping in the default entities, you are
Mhm.
create a new entity and you want
Mhm.
to make a relation between staging table and your entity, then you
Yes.
need to go to the same thing, the entity form. In the entity there is an option like edit mapping. If you go
Yes.
in the edit mapping, you can add or remove whatever the mapping you want with the field of staging table. But you need to make sure like whatever the EDT you are using in the staging table and whatever the field you are using in the data entity, there must be a same.
Yes, yes,
Then and
obviously,
then
yeah.
only, yeah. So then and then only you can map that two fields with the like entity and with the staging table.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that I knew already, but actually I was facing some problem that again and again in item master I was uploading the item Excel file, and I have mapped item name with item name, but it is throwing error again and again. Okay, I will see it, and may I drop the mail to you so that you can provide a solution for that if I will share a
Ye-
screenshot for that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, you
definitely.
can.
Like whatever the process you are doing in your
Mm-hmm.
backside, I
Yeah.
will look into it because item name field is not directly into that invent table or requires product. It is a
Mm-hmm.
function, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
there is a different table. So we cannot directly map that with using that field mapping, right? So in
Okay.
that case, we need to create the lookup method over there.
Okay.
So there is a different part. It will be a vast area about the data management.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can just share your problem. We will give you the solution on that trail mail.
Okay, just can you please share your email ID or where I can put the problem?
Yeah, I will ping you in the chat.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I have just mentioned the email ID on
Yes,
which
yes.
you
I
can
saw. Yeah.
mention the date.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. Any further questions?
No, no question from my side.
Okay. Okay, so thank you for joining with us, and we will be also sending you feedback form. Request you to please fill up the feedback form for more clarity, so we can improve our webinar in the further upcoming webinar series. And we are also active on our social media page of the consulting services on LinkedIn and Twitter. So request you to follow this, so you can get more information about our pages, or more information about our upcoming webinars. We regularly keep on posting, and we regularly keep on conducting various webinar series. So request you to follow us the page, and please do let us, and looking forward to see you in our upcoming webinar series. So thanks a lot everyone for joining us. Take care.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.